everyone, welcome back to the channel again. Today we're back on GT Sport and we're back with a track guide at Monza, driving the Group 2 Super GT cars. As you can see there on screen, I'm driving the Lexus for this track guide. I know this has been on there quite a few as a race, and I've done I think 2 races there, and I got on very late last night and decided what I'll do instead is I'll do an hour on the time trial, try and get a nice lap done and do it as a track guide, because one thing I didn't want to do was go on very late without much practice and feeling tired and go to Monza and lose a lot of drive rating. As you know from the past, this is the track that took 26,000 driver rating off me, and it's took me a long time to get it back. Now I'm back over 71,000 now, and I don't want to lose that much, so I decided to just spend about 45 minutes to an hour in the time trial qualifying session and managed to hit a really good lap. I'm really starting to feel this game now with how you can push them last few attempts, and there's some things about this game that you couldn't do on games like Assetto Corsa and Project Cars and iRacing, which I'm starting to pick up on this game now. Like the way you can attack that curb that we just gone through there on the chicane, you can ride the right hand tyre on the curb a lot more in this game, and the advantage you get from that is a good few attempts, which you'll see when we go through the track guide in a second. So what I'm going to do now is go through a track guide, point out all the important braking areas and the points that you need to aim for your tyres, etc., to get the most out of your lap. I think you'll agree when you see this lap, this was a very good lap. It was one of my better laps on the game. There was still more potential because I only did it for about 45 minutes, as you'll see now. Starting the lap, obviously you want to get a nice clean exit from the final corner. We just changed the view there I always do that at the start, just to check the ghost of where I am in terms of speed over the line. As you can see now, going into turn 1, you can see I'm going to brake pretty much dead on the 150 board. You can see it just appear on the left there, just short of the 150 board, but I actually aimed for the 150 board. It's just, that's how it is when you hit the brakes. Now, turning in very early, you want to get your right hand front tyre over that curb and kind of cut it, but you want to keep your left hand tyre within the white limits pretty much, and then again swing it back through, and again you want to clip your left hand tyre pretty much as close to that orange curb on the left as possible. You see there, we just skimmed it and I got that pretty much perfect, and then using all the curb on the right hand side, you can see there, pretty much using every inch of track I can use there without going onto the gravel. And these are the vital few inches that you have to use extra to get the most out of your lap, and it's just about practice and getting used to it. And obviously not every lap is going to be able to hit that perfect lap. Now going into the next braking zone, you're going to be looking out to brake just before the 100 board, in between the 150 and 100 board, much later than you do with the Group 3 cars. As you can see there, starting to brake now in between them 2 board posts. And now again, you want to try and cut this left hand corner with your front tyre, your front left hand tyre, as much as possible, but not too much that it's going to invalidate your lap. You can see there, doing it perfectly there, just kept our right hand tyres on the white line, so within the track limits. And then again, pretty much similar on this curve, but keeping your left hand tyres as close to the white line as possible. And then again, use all the track on the left. You can see how much track I'm using there. I'm taking advantage of the full width of the track, using the curbs and every inch of track that I can physically use to get as much speed out of the corner as possible. Then braking just past the 50 board for the first part of the Lesmo, you can see there, and I'm going to go downshift it into 4th gear. I don't want to go into 3rd gear. 4th gear is fine for this corner, and it will give you a better exit and a cleaner exit as you come out the corner without high revs. You're going to see now, try and stay nice and tight as that arrow shows into the curb on the right side, because the camber will run you off down the left hand side. And then you're going to be looking out for the 50 board. We're going to brake pretty much dead on that 50 board and down into 4th gear. See there, just short of the 50 board is when we start the initial input of the braking, and then you're going to go down into 4th gear. And now you need to aim your right hand front tyre to go over that curb. It looks like we're going to cut onto the grass, but watch when we play it through in slow motion. We hit that curb perfectly. Right hand tyre on the Astro, and then on the exit using all the Astros down the left hand side, and just keeping your right hand tyres on that white line to stay in the track limits. And be careful not to run too far wide there, because if you do, you're going to go on the gravel and lose a lot of time. I pretty much maxed that out on that corner. Now working my way up to the really fast chicane, and this is where the difference is between games like Assetto Corsa and GT Sport, is where I can ride the curb a little bit more. You can see braking just before the 100 board again, that's where I'm starting my braking input. And now I'm going to really attack this first part. This is very similar to other games like Assetto Corsa. You have to get your left hand tyre over that curb and really attack it and carry as much speed as possible. And then now this is the difference. On a lot of simulation games, you cannot ride that curb on the right hand side like you can on GT Sport. I'm able to get onto that right hand curb and plant the power down fully already now, and you can see I'm carrying a lot of speed through this apex. And then again, you want to attack the left hand point and get your left hand tyre over that curb, just avoiding the black and yellow one, and just be careful not to run too far wide. I did lose a little bit of speed on the exit there by running onto the curb. However, the amount of speed I took through the corner clearly made up for that. As you can see, the Ghost well behind there as I approach now into the final corner, braking again much later than you do with the Group 3 cars, kind of in between the 150 but closer to the 100, and then downshifting into 4th gear. I'm not going to go into 3rd gear. This point I put the power down a fraction too early. I want to try and stay as closest to apex on the curb as possible. You'll see there as I put the power down there, I have to give it a lift. Look at the inputs on the accelerator. I had to give it a little brief lift there because I could feel the car starting to run wide, and I did run a little bit wide and lost maybe half a tenth, maybe a little bit more there through running wide. However, it was still carried enough speed through the corner and went over the line with 1:38.039. Now that was a really strong lap for myself at this track. It was one of the better laps I've done. I think it was 2 tenths faster than what I did last time, and it put me at the end of the night, 11:30 at night, number 5 on the top 10 stars leaderboard, which I was really happy about because I only spent 45 minutes. A lot of these people would have been on it all day, obviously, and I felt I had more potential in that. I felt that I could have got the top spot. It's starting. I'm starting to get into these top 10 stars more often now, and it's showing. I feel like I'm starting to get to grips with the handling that little bit more. And I want, using the curbs seems to be a big thing on GT Sport. Really being aggressive on the curbs, and obviously you still need to give caution though, because if you're too aggressive, they will spin you out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let the lap play at full speed from this chase camera for everyone that wants to watch it for if they're on the pad, just so you can see how it looks in the big screen on the chase camera. And then after this, I'll let it play at full speed without pausing it and etc. on the normal camera I use, the cockpit, just so you can watch it from that view again, from without pausing it. You can see it being played at full speed, and you might pick up some other stuff from that video, from obviously the cockpit view without the pauses. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you out. I really did enjoy driving this car here. Again, these cars are so good to drive, these Super GT cars. A lot of grip. They can be tricky, but they're just so nice, the way they just bite into the corners. So make sure, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, click that subscription button, and also click the notification button so you don't miss any videos on the channel. I do upload at least one video every day normally on GT Sport, so do check the other videos out on the channel. Thanks again for watching, everyone.